Well,
15-year, but
let's jump into the draft to see if that can happen. DEVU up against the wall right now. Match point for Blacklist. They definitely need to switch something up. The same draft better not come out of DEVU's hands, or else I'm going to be silent the whole game.
it might happen. I'm just saying, it might happen. But Wolf said minor changes can work, right? The fact that they kept everything literally the same. At least for Blacklist, they changed something. They adapted to the S's. There you go. So it's confirmed we're going to get a change. I mean, the swap sides already, right? But there's no way it's the same draft with the two different sides, right?
With Blacklist,
I cannot be. I'm going to be silent.
With Blacklist, I kind of feel like they can get away with just a Valentina first pick, right?
For sure.
I mean, the Bruno is great, but I feel like OHEB can do more than just a Bruno, right?
I think, yeah, for sure. With the Bruno pick, it does ensure DEVU will have a little bit better of a late game, and that's technically where they've actually found the comeback angles, right? Towards the later stage of the game, when they're able to prolong and waste that early to mid game, the time is very, very important. The TikTok timers for DEVU, but it's also as important for Blacklist International. That's how the ADP works. The anti-disaster protocol. Lose out in the early game, completely fine. Get it to that later stage of the game, and then you give it over to OHEB and Yue, the two main damage dealers, and they've already been farmed up.
Right now in the drafting phase here, Blacklist International is putting pressure onto DEVU because they're already batting out the Faramis. So now there's, I don't know, in my head, whenever you're doing the draft, it is a mind game. And I kind of feel like banning out this Faramis is putting DEVU in a situation that they will be very uncomfortable. So now Blacklist International, they got a lot of things open here. And I kind of feel like if DEVU picks up the Bruno with... Wait, the Matilda is open as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry, Matilda's banned. So picking up the Valentina and then DEVU picking up something like the Bruno, maybe even the Terizla. I don't know. I kind of feel like Blacklist International, they're controlling the draft just with the bans.
Yeah, and well, even the way that the bans have been going recently, I think it's a great choice for DEVU to move over to the red side.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they can get the Bruno here, and they can force some change up, and OHEB has just been a monster on the Bruno, but we know OHEB's hero pool can also go into the Claude, go into something else that can really shift the tides of battle. DEVU here. So are we thinking Bruno up front? Maybe Bruno with the Basha once again?
I think it has to be Bruno, right? Either way, whatever they partner the Bruno with, whether it's a Terizla, a Baxia, or even, heck, maybe even Lilia. For Sunset Lover, the Bruno is necessary for them to get a good lane for Carvey and also late game insurance.
The only thing is I feel like they should delay their mid lane pick for now just because you already saw Blacklist having the mid lane, so there's no way they're going to pick something up. So try to steal something away.
Need no protection.
So the Baxia?
Basha, Bruno.
They don't go for
Lilia.
Lilia.
So mid lane control. Mid lane control, I like it.
It's like Blacklist already have a mid laner, you know? You could have put it at the third pick. Unless the third pick is the Diggy.
Ooh.
But they want to see what Black's going to bring with their 2 picks and lock in the Hoot after.
I mean, at this point, you might not have a chance to grab the Hoot.
Yeah, I think at this point, right, when you pick a Lilia and then you pick a Diggy later on, against a Valentina, it's incredibly hard.
It is
especially for Blacklist International here. DEVU want to try to keep them in a choke point, but if they give out something like a Diggy over that time journey ult to the Valentina, Blacklist will just be able to disengage out of these choke points easily. And now DEVU, well, technically the Bruno is still up for grabs, right? Blacklist pick up the Raph.
I don't know, at this point, the Raph plus most gold laners is going to be very scary. If they don't pick up an aggressive gold laner here, it's going to be very difficult. They're picking up the Ixia.
They ban everything out but the Bruno and try to give...
Maybe just because looking at the composition, they're thinking there's no way that Blacklist wants to dive. So this Ixia is going to be saved. So, but you kind of are forced to ban certain EXP laners, right?
For sure.
The Lapu, maybe even the Yuzong.
Yeah, Lapu, Yuzong, the Terizla maybe as well, unless they feel like they can handle it.
I mean, definitely a possibility. I think I like the idea of they know that Ixia is going to be safe in the back line. So now Blacklist definitely maybe wanting something that can get to the back line here. Lapu, Terizla, plenty of options still out there. But I love that Raph pick because it denied any idea of like, all right, we're not going for heavy CC here. You're not going to pick the Diggy. It'd be pointless at this point. We know the composition we have. And again, it just goes to show how much diversity just that one pick from Renegade can make with the team.
At this point, like our panelists were talking about how Blacklist is like a wall. Now this wall has wheels or wings.
There you go.
It's a moving wall.
It is a
just
moving wall.
floats.
That's very scary.
It's a floating moving. It's a flying wall.
Once in my life, I saw a wall moving towards me, and I was like, how does that happen?
Were you driving?
No.
That would be the logical explanation, right?
Yeah, no. Or just
Okay, now I see it. No, I wasn't driving.
No, but so far for Carvey and for OHEB, it's been the Bruno that's, been the most successful, or maybe not for Carvey, but most used hero for both these players. Maybe because Carvey's seen this win rate as well, he's like, you know what, maybe we'll just try to utilize this Ixia. We were able to beat the Bruno with this just yesterday against See You Soon, so why not try again? If Blacklist loved the Bruno so much, OHEB heck got 2 MVPs back-to-back on the Bruno. Let's try to counter him.
So what do we think about DEVU maybe picking up the Tigreal or picking up something a bit more aggressive for their roam here, LaFell?
Actually, just looking at the Bruno here, I know you asked a question, but I call it Sunset Lover a goalkeeper. Looks like OHEB's the better striker, man.
Yeah, the way better striker. He's been getting those goals in so easily. Tigreal banned out, so 2 setters taken out from Deus Volt. They don't want to give the combo away, but the Tigreal, or the Terizla rather, will still be picked up. Kid Baba loves this hero.
When I give the word.
Are they going to just last pick the Hoot Hoot here, LaFell?
Ooh.
The Khalid, very fast pick here. I love the confidence, and it goes with the team's playstyle where the Khalid can move around the map very, very fast, and he can do very well alone in the lane.
And we've seen that for Edward, the way he plays the Khalid when he has a Rafaela on the team is full damage. He's an assassin, not a fighter. He relies on the Rafaela to keep him tanky, sustainable, and the quicksand guard.
And again, it's another fast-moving EXP laner, something that Edward just thrives on. Every single time he's on this, he's able to move around. I don't have to explain myself again. Now, OHEB, does he just pick up the Bruno?
Ooh, signature pick.
Signature pick, and here's the thing, just want to add on for Edward, I feel like whenever they're training, the coach told him, Edward, you have to take care of the lanes.
All of
The
it.
coach didn't specify which lane. He just assumed all of it.
Yes.
Right?
Which lanes? Yes.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he does, honestly. We saw yesterday Blacklist come in, and Edward would even try to, they would send 3 or 4, literally first lane into the mid side just to get some advantage. And so you just never know where Edward is coming from. And with the heal, with Renegade as well, giving them all even more of a speed boost around the map, it's definitely a deadly composition.
Okay, and last pick here. Is it the Hood Hood? Is it an Estes?
Ooh, that would be very interesting to go for. They go for the Kaja. Ooh, okay, so literally just a cover comp, right? They want to play for the Lilia and Ixia. That's it. It's very honest.
Definitely very honest, able to get some pick pressure too. Might be a little bit easier to catch Renegade off here. That's going to definitely be a target for them, but Sawo's going to have to choose, as the game moves on. Does he go for the gold laner? Does he go for Renegade? What is his choice here?
Early game don't matter, man. I kind of feel like their idea is to separate Blacklist because they've been clubbing up way too much. So in the early game, don't care. Just pick anyone and finish them off.
And they've been winning in the clumped up team fight, so maybe that might be it. Isolating them in the early game and then clumping them in the late game with the Ixia, punished with a full barrage.
All right, Blacklist International, agents all around. It's match point as Deuce Volt looks for another reverse sweep. Is it something that can be done?
Well, they got to do it here. They changed their strategy in terms of the draft, as well as having the roamer, the Kaja as the roamer. They got to be aggressive. But at this point, they got to make sure the calls are solid. The calls are good. Whoever they catch, the damage has to be there. If the damage dealers aren't ready, it's going to be a Blacklist game.
All right, so with what you said, they have to be aggressive. Do they just immediately start pushing in? And it looks like that's what they're already doing. Sawo already on Blacklist side of the river, and that is a good sight. They have the Lilia. They have that ability to kind of get into the face of Blacklist here. And as long as they can keep doing that, they can possibly control the pace. But here comes the emblems, LaFell.
The firmness coming in from Sensui is going to make it a little bit tougher for him to get bursted down, but 2 ruptures for the side of Blacklist, so they're ready to fight in the early game.
And the Master Assassin still as the choice for Carvey. That's an interesting one, man. On the Ixia, you would expect him to maybe go for just more damage or
Tenacity.
tenacity.
Yeah. I kind of feel like he hasn't really won the lane so far. So yeah, it is a very risky choice here. Looking at the items for now, looking like the Lilia does want to deal a bit more damage, and Renjay gets attacked.
Very low. Yue body blocking. And Renjay gets out, recalls back to safety.
So this is pretty normal for Deus Vult, though. Even the past 2 games before this, they've been aggressive. They maybe even find a pickoff here and there. But Blacklist International always has that rubber band back. They always have that bounce back moment. The question is just when it will come.
All right. Magister actually takes that away from Sensui. No retribution committed just yet because it's 7 seconds till the turtle spawns. And Magister is going to be first onto it now. So already a difference from game 1 and 2. Deus Vult are first on the neutral objective with more prio.
Well, Kid Bomba getting attacked. Terrified.
A lot of damage, but it's going to be turned back. Oh, first blood by Kid Bomba. Even with US stolen penalty zone, wasn't able to save Edward.
Very well done by Deus Vult. Slowing down Edward is going to be huge in this laning phase.
Retry battle 50-50. It's going to be Sensui who wins it. 1-for-1. Sawo with a flicker. Divine Judgment locking Yue down. Now onto Sunset Lover by Yue. Will he be able to escape right now? A lot of damage placed onto it, and the answer will be no. He'll be taken out.
But that's what they have to do. It doesn't matter what happens in the game. You try to get a trade on the turtle. You did not succeed. Get any kills, even the front lines, because at this point of the game, no one has completed items just yet.
Penalty zone onto Edward. This might be a solo kill. Edward 1 HP, very low. Kid Bomba looking for a dive. One more hit should do it. A hit and a flicker, a regen to respond it over, and Edward gets out, saving his flicker.
We've seen that play from Bomba before, and I think in game 1 he paid for it. At least this time, he's like, no, I'm not going to risk it. We got to play smart. It's match point. I really want it, but I'm going to back off. And I think that is a good play by Bomba, because Edward, if he had the same guard in time, if anything was to happen, Bomba would have been down.
Honestly, the concussive blast on Edward makes it so that even if he's very, very low, he's able to clear the lane very, very fast. So even if something goes wrong, it still goes right.
It's an assassin emblem. It's everything with the killing spree, with the damage as well, rupture, but it's concussive blast that helps him clear the wave. And Magister looking for a pick, goes on to Yue. Shield unity used up. Anything interesting in the in-game equipment here?
Honestly, the interesting part is the difference in terms of the gold. 2.5k gold for Kid Bomba, 1.9 for Edward. Edward, again, looking like he does want to go for the more aggressive build here.
Yeah, but Oheb is getting a slight lead over on Akarvi. Something I want to point out is, yes, DEVU is winning out in some of these fights right now, but the Magister Sensui rivalry here, Sensui's been coming out on these retributions a lot, even when it's 50-50. And we all know in the end, a lot of these games comes down to who can pull off the Lord. So Magister definitely going to need to step up his game here.
Yeah, looks like Sawo had an opportunity just now, but apparently just with Sunset Lover, they don't want to take the risk, especially because Yue having that Divine Judgment as well. Perhaps he was worried that he might get caught himself.
I think for both of them, they were trying to bait out each other's Divine Judgment, right? You do it first. No, you do it. But both of them stayed patient, and now it's going to be Deus Vult who have this Sawo flicker Divine Judgment. There you go. He does it first, finds Yue. Penalty zone onto Renegade, who's forced to flicker meanwhile in the bottom lane, or up top actually. A little bit of a gank from the gold laner, rotating, and a bit of a curveball as well. Sensui spotted out in the bottom side tri-bush. Walks out, tries to escape, but the Glooms locks him down real good. Sensui finds an angle again with the help of the Holy Healing. Sensui doesn't get it. It's Magister 1 level down, but it's no problem for him.
All right, a good play by Deus Vult, but they do lose Carvey, and Oheb is just having a free lane right now, and that is definitely not what you want when this mid-game comes around.
Speaking of mid-game, now we're transitioning into the mid-game. Deus Vult, they have to understand how they want to control the map at this point, because when you have a Kaja, controlling those bushes is going to be very productive for your own team. The moment you lose those bushes, the Kaja isn't going to be as effective.
Wow. Bomba just out-trading Edward straight up.
Yeah, he's definitely hit the spike. Edward a little bit behind, but look!
Full barrage committed as well. Sensui goes for the taunt, dashes out to safety. One more hit should do it. And it's a big shield unity slam to the ground to take Sensui out. Meanwhile, bottom lane still a 1v1 ensuing. Kid Bomba versus Edward.
Right now, the kill going to Deus Vult, amazing. But they got to transfer the lead over to the objectives. They got to take down the structures here.
Raging Sandstorm to lock him down. The Filipino sniper on point. Jumps into the Nibiru. Nibiru's passion used up, but Kid Bomba's a bit too tanky now. A 4-man dive in the bottom side of the map. Kid Bomba We're going to clear out the waves, the penalty zone onto Yue. The damage not going to be enough right now. He turns out Yue does the same, and it's all a distraction to get OHEB the turret.
Deus Vult almost got there in the nick of time. Luckily, Kid Bomba is able to just kind of play that very smoothly. They lose the tower, but if only the rest of DEVU's teammates came in a little bit faster.
Yeah, but right now, looking at the items as well, looking at Sawo, he's building a little bit tanky first. He's not really bothered to build the fleeting time. So I kind of feel like this is a better approach, a safer approach to this fight. Looking at the items as well. Oh, goes in.
Full barrage, a beautiful divine judgment from Sawo. But no more CC. Quick sand guard by Edward. He might be able to survive this one. Flickers out to safety. Agent Zero gets out.
Taking a kneel and flickering away in clean fashion.
Apparently the corrosion scythe isn't enough yet for Carvey. He might need 2. Heck, he might need 3.
He might. And now Sensui is doing a good job at actually just zoning Magister away. 1-to-1 in turtles. The third turtle of the game spawning now. And Black was our first onto it. Edward, even though he was poked down, now jumps in, penalty zone, locks onto 2, but Yue does the same thing. Edward gonna be chunked down and taken out, executed. Kid Bomba taken low. Sensui finds the turtle. As Sunset Lover pops the glooms down. A good taunt from Sensui. The Filipino sniper not able to find his mark.
So Deus Vult does come out taking a kill almost each time they have an engagement, but still Blacklist International secures the third and final turtle of Game 3.
Personal opinion, I kind of feel like that's more worth it for Blacklist International because Deus Vult, the only way that they can neutralize the lead is if they got 1 more kill. And if most of the members have an assist, if they got 3, it would have been Deus Vult victory there.
Part 2, Raging Sandstorm this time, just used up, gets out, and Deus Vult, they're not able to really look for these proactive maneuvers.
Right now looking at the items as well for the gold leaners, both gold leaners have 2 items, but I would say the impact is bigger for OHEB because it's a bigger power spike for the Beatrix.
All right, Blacklist now trying to fight back. Deus Vult have kind of held up the aggression in these fights, so we gotta watch because this is about the time that Blacklist normally hits that rubber band. Right around 8 to 9 minutes is when Blacklist finds that spike. They find that moment. They find that groove when all 5 of them can group together and try to push in.
Penalty zone. Oh, out to 3 full barrage. Just a full barrage, not in range though. Kid Bomba with the one isolated, and now the Raging Sandstorm from Edward connects Yue. Flickers out to the Holy Healing. A perfect skirmish for Blacklist International. Deus Vult down 2 members.
That's not what you want to see as a Deus Vult fan. The idea was there, but the spacing wasn't, and now they're going to get cornered.
Edward jumping into the house. Oh! Box him down. The Appraiser's Wrath used up. Sunset Lover pops into black shoes. Magister now caught underneath between the 2 turrets in the mid lane. But Blacklist International, they'll take that win and they'll step away.
You know, when that first fight went down, Deus Vult started it. I thought for sure Carvey might have used the flicker. Wait, Sawo.
We're going to find Judgment, locking OHEB down. A penalty zone as well. OHEB still doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough. It's Yue. Pops in the penalty zone. A DPZ for himself. Deus Vult kiting back. Holy baptism from Renegade. The Hitman turns to Heel Man. Turns it around again. Deus Vult forced to run back to their turrets.
Once again, Deus Vult looks for the play, but Blacklist counters time and time again. Deus Vult just can't get a full win here.
You said it right, man. Blacklist, they keep doing it. Whenever they're running away, they're not really running away. It's a setup. They're getting ready for a bite back. And the thing is, Deus Vult just keep going for it. Like, Sensui was a superstar just now. Taunting 2, making it easy for the Hitman to get the Holy Baptism, that was amazing.
They're 2 to 3 steps ahead every single time. Deus Vult are going in with these honest initiations, and Blacklist have so much up their sleeve.
Now, with the items finally, you know, coming into this mid-late, what are we looking at, LaFell?
It's scary. 8.4k on the Beatrix. The Beatrix has 3 items completed. The Ixia only has 2. And Renegade now having the Enchanted Talisman as well, they can do this Lord Dance all day. They got the mana regeneration. They got the cooldowns.
Yeah, and this has been the story for the past few games. OHEB has just had a free lane, and as long as OHEB gets a free lane, it is a problem, especially on something like this, a super comfort pick for him. Conceal play, though.
Not going to find anything. Blacklist International read that out with Edward earlier. And now Deus Vult, they take control more. Better space, I would say, around this Lord Pit, but Blacklist just are holding on to it. Sensui's holding on to the Lord. He's not going to be giving it over to Deus Volt as the bottom side of the map will be cleared out. Deus Volt holding it down still, and Sensui is denying this reset from Deus Volt. Kid Bomba taught it up. Holy Baptist connecting as well. Raging Sandstorm to the back. Saulo going to be gone away with a penalty zone. And with some damage. Oh! Carvey turns it around. Sensui finds the Lord. Magister running for dear life. In Blacklist International, they lose 2, but they find a big, big objective.
I would say I see what Deus Volt was trying to do. They tried to split the map up, having 2 different squads. You're going to go for the Lord. We're going to go going for the kills. We're going to look at the instant replay here. Looking at the positioning coming in from Deus Volt. 2-man Magister as well as Kid Bomba there on the side. Sawa was there, was able to basically protect Carby in the backside, making sure that they deal the damage. But when it comes to kills and deaths, it's 2 for 2. But Blacklist, having the Lord, especially with their goal lead, it is still Blacklist favored.
Yeah, but there again, if Magister could have just got the 50-50 there, we would be telling a different story. It'd be 2 for 2 in the hands of Deus Volt with the Lord, though. And this is becoming the problem.
Samo's opening up Divine Judgment with a full barrage. Also, Sensui just tanks it up. That's the damage coming out from Oheb. A 4-man penalty zone, but Oheb is able to flicker. Outraging Sandstorm coming down. Connecting on a Magister. The crowd goes wild. Deus Volt getting the health bars of Blacklist really low, but unable to execute anyone. Meanwhile, bottom lane, that's a base turret taken down.
What do they do here? Carvey, even when he's getting a full barrage, he's not...
Oh! 3 shots back to back to back. They're feeling it. Sunset number 4 sees the Purify in the black shoes. You are chasing it down. What a Razor's Wrath! And the 4th shot in a row for the Filipino sniper.
Blacklist International are ramping up the pace. They're trying to end this soon.
Dude, the damage from Blacklist is unreal. What can this will do?
Holy Baptist and Raging Sandstorm. Everything in the kitchen sink to send the home ground favorites to the lower bracket finals. Blacklist International have swept Deus Volt.
That one felt like a UFC fight night. The punch connected. Deus Volt got dizzy, and Blacklist International went in for the kill. Another couple jabs, and Deus Volt fall.
Going into the boxing ring against Blacklist International, man. I don't know. Any arena feels like a bloodbath. And Blacklist International, they're masters of this, man. They're bobbing and weaving. They're dodging.
I mean, guys.
But more importantly, they hit back hard.
Guys, they literally brought a sniper to a boxing match.
Dude.
The way that went, though, once they caught him, man, Deus Volt were not able to stop them at all. I am speechless, but I'm sure our wonderful analysts have got a lot of words to say about that one. Or over to our host.
A clean sweep for Blacklist International, but for now, may we please a warm round of applause for DEVU. Sunset Lover, Magister, Carvey, Kid Bomba, Sawa, and of course, Coach Fly Solo. Coach Fly Solo, if we can have Coach. All right, before I turn the mic or hand the mic to Kid Bomba, let's hear first from Coach Fly Solo. Coach Fly Solo, what a great run. Again, the dark horse of the tournament. Can you talk about your performance, not today, but the whole tournament, and please send a message to your fans.
Actually, I didn't expect that we will make it like top 4 or top 3 like that. And yeah, I'm so proud that we went from far. Tsaka, of course, kailangan namin improve yung mga macro and micro at the same time. So babawi kami next season.
Yeah, for sure. We can look forward to next season for DEVU. A lot of things to improve on, but a lot of things to take to the off-season that were really great points for all of you. All right. Let's hand the mic to Kid Bomba. Kid Bomba, you're a fan favorite. Any last words?
Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting DEVU. I hope you're gonna watch us play in the upcoming tournaments as well. And the next one, we're gonna win.
All right. One last time for M5. Can we have the Sioux? One last. Last one. Palakpakan natin, mga kapatid. Last one. Last one for everyone here. All right. DEVU, please take your final bow. Your journey ends here. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all again next year. What a great tournament for all of you. Agents! A sweep for your Blacklist International! Let's start with Rene J. Nagkakagulo sila dito. They're going crazy. I just want you to tell us your thoughts about this performance. A sweep for all of you. How did you prepare for this one? And you made sure maganda yung simula ninyo. You had a good start compared to yesterday na natalo kayo dun sa unang laban.
Yun po, yung focus lang po talaga kami yung kasi dalawa din, if ever na nalalo po kami, di ba? So, dalawa po yung laban namin ngayon. Kaya talagang tinry po namin i-sweep para medyo malas yung pagod namin. Kaya yun, thank you Lord kasi na-sweep po namin.
Yeah, they tried to go for the sweep because they didn't want to jeopardize their game later against, of course, the loser of the next series because they wanted to make sure that they were fresh heading to their matchup later on. Oheb!
Yo!
The Filipino sniper! Talk to us about that performance. You saved the best for last. Alam naman ng lahat, Beatrice is your hero. Ikaw yan. Alam mo kung anong gagawin. Can you talk about this performance individually and as a team?
Matagal ko na rin gustong gamitin si Bea sa dito sa tournament kaso bihira lang siya mapasok kasi dahil sa mga open na marksman. Yun kanina natuwa ako kasi na-pick ko ulit siya. Ayun na siguro.
Edwards and Sui, UA, final words? Or actually, invite nyo sila mamaya kasi maganda yung laban ninyo kung sino man mga kalaban. So please, iano mo naman yung agents ninyo, nagkakagulo sila. UA, Sensui, Oheb, UA, Sensui, go ahead. Edward. Invite nyo lang mamaya. Anong may expect natin mamaya sa inyo kung sino man ang mga kalaban ninyo?
Salamat po sa mga agents na pumunta ngayon. Sana supportan niyo pa kami sa mamaya namin laban to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
All right, your Blacklist International, take a bow. What a performance. And your journey will continue later on. We will wait on who wins the next series and who loses because the loser will take on Blacklist International for the right to enter your M5 World Championship Grand Finals. Analysts, take it away.
Thanks, Tito Mikey. Again, reminding us how Oheb the best for last from Singapore with his Grand Finals MVP performance to today, winning a sweep against Deus Volt. Oheb on the Beatrix. It makes my insides all fuzzy.
Yeah, I think that I can fairly remember both of us actually in that stage, being amazed of how good the Oheb was. But I think that this particular game, in particular series, Versatile Blacklist International was perfectly won by Blacklist because of the style that they're playing and how proven this Ube strategy is going up against an aggressive team like DEVU. The box that they were able to build in many stages in this game was perfect.
Which throws back to the M4 World Championships metagame. If you'll remember, the heroes that were big during that time, Eve, Farsa, it was all about drawing a box, Akai, disrupting that box. They brought that back here. So we're not only throwing back to M3 in Singapore, beautiful Suntech, that arena, the very first we had live with an audience. Also back to indoor tennis and in Jakarta. So already it's coming into full circle. I can't believe how as we lead up to tomorrow's grand finals, we're seeing remnants of the past come back to show us what this new metagame brings. With that said, let's bring out our MVP. We're awarding Game 3's performance. It wouldn't be possible without, of course, Blacklist International's very own Sensui. Dare I say, this is the best since we've seen since their bout against Onyx. That 3-2 performance, this is the Sensui with the divine retribution.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to back that out because I think that the movements as you saw from Sensui all throughout this game, very, very fluid. It started with how they were able to farm and get the advantage, and they're not spreading themselves thinly. I would say that Sensui knew exactly when to go and when not to go to aid his teammates. And we can see look at this invade, he goes back to help his teammates as well as taunt Magister so that Magister will not be able to follow up. So he's really mindful of his surroundings, that he's controlling the tempo of the specific skirmish that allows Blacklist International to, again, re-establish their box. It's all about the box, building the box here for the side of Blacklist International. By the way, Yue, look at that. Beautiful chain of events, chain of spells. And at the same time, Renegade and Oheb, this is an inseparable duo now.
Yep, and again, it's not like it's Blacklist who set the pace. Again, Deus Vult always the aggressors, ever the forward pushing lineup, combat ready at all times, which came to their detriment at some points wherein there was a fight here, I think earlier, before even the 13-minute mark, wherein they were going in one at a time.
Yes, sir.
If only it was perfectly placed, if Sao started with the Divine Judgment, it would have gone well. But again, when you're playing against Blacklist who are so good at timers, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, this is a very scientific approach coming out from the side of Blacklist International. Dare I say, though, geometric approach. Because of, I'm talking about space here, right? Every time that they set up their box, you can literally see all of their positioning where they have influence over one another. No matter what happens, somebody will be able to save one another. Sensui will be able to land the taunt so that Magister will be blocked off. And then there will be Renegade to go for the backlines. Eventually, Renegade will be able to save Oheb. Then Edward goes for the backlines. That's what I'm trying to say. The box that the Blacklist built today is just perfect.
And what makes that box possible is, in addition to what Wolf said, not just the physical space, but the way these heroes move and what their kit brings. Again, I'm looking at Edward's Khalid, and it's not your tank Khalid. Sure, it's rocking Concussive Blast, but it's full assassin, Master Assassin, the penetration, assassin emblem.
Yep.
But he used the very important bit of his kit that makes sense. The passive that allows him to reposition, and the quick sand guard, which, mind you, there's only really, what, 2 ways to get rid of it. One of them is an ult.
Yeah. The thing is, entirely for the side of DEVU, they kind of don't want to go onto the Khalid because they have more priorities. They have to go through the Beatrix, let him not reach the critical mass. They have to go through the Fredrin first, which kind of is a big problem for them. So I would say that it's also a composition advantage for the side of Blacklist International. More so, it is when it comes to their execution because they know how to operate this. This is what? 3rd time in a row where it's Fredrin and the Valentina.
Again, new villain, folks. Again, returning villain. It's as if you brought back Ultron from the early Avengers movies, and he's worse. That's what Valentina's doing right now in the current metagame in late 2023. Talking about the economy here, I did not expect for it to be this huge of a gap between Oheb and Carvey. Because in the mid-game, it seemed like Carvey was actually dealing enough damage because of the full barrage. But part of it, to me, came in through Sensui and Edward catching the bullets. But I did not expect for him to be this short.
Yeah, I think the problem there was when you play the Ixia, you wanna get rid of the dive from your opponents, right? You don't want the Lapu-Lapu to be there, the Yuzhong, your typical. This time it's the Khalid. And the thing is, they have the Rafaela. And I always say this, every time that there's a Rafaela, every hero is a dive hero already.
Yep, because of the Holy Blessing. And not to mention the Holy Baptism, which we've seen repositioned and used for a re-engage with the help of a taunt from Sensui, our sandbag. So with that said, Blacklist was playing with a good amount of peel, they were playing with good reposition, and this all reinforces that box. And if you're playing against a sledgehammer lineup, dare I say, a sledgehammer team like Deus Volt, it'll be hard to penetrate.
Yeah, I think that we say about Blacklist International, they're really good at kiting, and the thing is, they improved a lot from their previous match. You can see that this was a 3-0 compared to a 3-1 yesterday when they lost all of the early game. This time, they have fixed all of their mistakes, and they have a cleaner execution in the first 2 minutes of the match, then winning the early game, the entire series.
Yep, check it out. The damage dealt stats show that, of course, you have Oheb and Yue dealing the most damage. They are the cores for Blacklist. But check this out. Even if you do shut either down, and you have Sensui and Edward peeling for Blacklist, look at the damage that Edward dealt. If you're not able to, again, deal with that, or at least protect Carvey from that, who cares about the Lapu-Lapu? This is worse. The Khalid is in the metagame and banned out in the second phase, often for a reason.
And if your Baksha is not even at par when it comes to damage dealt compared to the enemy roamer, you know there's a problem. You know that you weren't able to activate Magister in this particular game as much as you would for the Baksha. Baksha is a hero that deals damage and also tanks up. So that is the main disconnect here from the side of DEVU. Although you want them to play this divide, this all-out aggression kind of gameplay, they weren't able to do so.
Looking at the damage taken, on the other hand, Tensui, again, making the most of the crystal energy that Fredrin has. Once he hits the big bonk, he's able to recapitulate and then come back. And of course, the holy healing from Renegade. Check out Kid Bomba, though. Kid Bomba here had solid engages. He had maybe more than a good couple penalty zones, was stolen away by Yue to go DPZ. But think about it. If he's already peeled for you and he's already died, there's no Angela here to save him. This is a full-on aggression lineup. Sawa on the Kaja, which I think explains why Kaja these days hasn't been as successful, is because he's so initiative reliant. You have to have won the initiative already and gained the catch before you can even follow through.
Speaking of initiative, I think that it was Blacklist International who took control of that initiative. Like, they're controlling the tempo. They're making DEVU react, and they always have the punish for it. It's mainly because of the utility-based composition. I think that Blacklist International have developed so much in the whole M5 series to the point where they're